Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy, man. So I'm so frustrated. That's not because John Wall's on the LA Clippers. It's because last night, I saw the news drop. Like, Woj dropped it that John Wall was getting bought out. And I was like, man, I was about to go to sleep. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to dig deep. I'm going to find the motivation to make a video about it. So I did that over on my other channel, Crispy Flakes. When I was done with that video, I found out he went to the Clippers, man. So, I was kind of frustrated not being able to articulate my complete thoughts on the buyout and signing with the Clippers. So today we're reacting to ESPN's take on it right here. Hopefully it's a good opportunity for me to talk about it a little bit more because quite honestly, man, what John Wall brings to that Clippers team, I think is perfect. I absolutely love the signing of him so much to that squad. He's exactly what they need. Obviously health is a concern, but you also have that concern with the Kawhi Leonard and Paul George too. So I guess three's a party, right, man? So let's go ahead and get going on this.
The Rockets and John Wall have reached a buyout agreement, and remember, his opt-in was
he gave about $6 million. Yep.
The buyout that they agreed
41
to was he gave back $6.5 million. How kind of him.
Yeah. That's why I started laughing when
I mean,
first saw this. I was like, come on.
He signed the contract. It is what it is, That's his money. He signed it.
Signed by a team that's going to contend for a world championship.
And on top of that, he gonna pick up that $6 million, so he can still make up $47 million.
Yo, what's that state tax like, though, in LA versus
and that's
Houston?
What Woj then reported shortly after that John Wall planning to sign with the Clippers once he clears waivers, and that's probably that mid-level exception, that 6.5.
Okay, it says he's got to clear waivers. Doesn't that mean another team can scoop them up if they absolutely want to? Isn't that how that works?
We're talking about that makes up the difference of it.
That'd be kind of fun,
John
man.
Wall, we really
Very
haven't
left fieldish.
seen him play now, guys, in a couple of years. The Clippers, and it's the ifs, of course. But we saw Paul George come back. Kawhi Leonard, should be ready to go this year.
Yep.
You add John Wall to that
bring
bench,
Boogie back too,
yeah. Tyronn Lue that has obviously been a
or bring
very
Boogie on the
competitive
team, I should say.
Who has been available to them?
Yeah, the Nuggets, right now.
I need you to say it, but I'm going to ask you. In LA, you add John Wall, you've got that team. Kawhi Leonard. Are the Clippers a bigger threat than the Lakers are in the West?
Yes, times a trillion. Yes, times a trillion. Even without John Wall. This Clippers team was okay without Kawhi Leonard. They were okay, man. I expect them to be damn bottom of the Western Conference without Kawhi. I ain't gonna lie, man. Paul George getting injured too did not help the case. Team stepped up. Yes, without John Wall could be out for the rest of the season, and this Clippers team is better than the Lakers right now. Okay, it is what it is. Now you can say what you want about LeBron, Anthony Davis. You got them ranked versus Kawhi and Paul George, but I'm talking about a complete team that plays together and everything like that. Yes, times a trillion.
Yeah, I think. It's so interesting.
Who got the Lakers over the Clippers right now?
And I'm convinced a number of ways. I ran into a high-level NBA executive the other night. Very high level. And he told me in a conversation prior to the John Wall signing, I'm sure he knew that the Clippers were better than the Lakers.
Yep.
And they'll be better than the Lakers for the next couple seasons. Now, I have to believe this high-ranking NBA official because
he has a good
he
eye.
knows. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
You don't even have to know. You can just look. Because the issue with the Lakers wasn't, Anthony Davis actually was a big part of it, and Russell Westbrook, but it wasn't LeBron, Just adding Kawhi back ain't gonna make this Clippers team worse. And even with John Wall too, I'm not expecting him to have his all-star impact like he had with the Wizards back in the day. But even looking at Klay Thompson, and he was gone for 2 seasons. He came back. He's not the same player he once was, but he's still a really good player.
He knows with the best of them. So I look at it, and I'm like, damn.
Plus, John Wall's completely healthy now too, I believe.
Get one.
Yo,
I don't know about that.
I'll go another level on it.
I don't know about that. It's a
I'll
good team,
say
but
if they are able to remain healthy, I
what
would give
if?
the Clippers a slight edge as the favorites in the Western Conference.
No, I'm not doing this again. It's the Warriors, okay? Until that team healthily gets dethroned, it's the Lakers. Or I almost said the Lakers, man. Damn, bro. Well, okay, I agree with that too. See, Anthony Davis is for an entire healthy season, man. No, I got the Warriors.
I would.
Favorites.
The favorite. I mean, defensively, they would match up with Golden State in a very real way with their wing defenders, with Reggie Jackson, Norman Powell, with Kawhi Leonard.
It'd be a
Paul
fun
George.
series.
Look, people haven't seen Kawhi Leonard in a while, but let's not forget how talented of a player he was. And one of the
I am by no means disrespecting Kawhi Leonard here. Like, if he comes back healthy, I very well know the Clippers can win a championship. I'm talking about the favorites, though. Like, there's too many injury what-ifs with the Clippers. Not saying they can't get it, but everything needs to work perfectly. And for that, I cannot give him my favorites. And plus, looking at this Warriors team here, too. And, let's not forget they got James Wiseman just chilling there. Like, he's ready to go. I mean, this team going to be a year better, man. A year more of experience for all the young bloods out there. Kuminga, even Jordan Poole winning a ring, what's doing for his confidence. Like, yeah, I'm not going to get twisted and say the Warriors ain't my favorite.
People always throw this out. Like, it goes back to the bubble. Like, well, have you seen Paul George at end-of-game situations and he can't come through and he hits the side of the backboard? Paul George is one of the most gifted players the game of basketball has in the game today.
Sure.
He really is.
I agree with that.
He is offensively prolific. So with a guy like Ty Lue that can construct the right game plan, they have all.
Paul George has bad moments. He's had bad moments. And when it comes down to it, when you have so many bad moments in a row, when you're expected greatness, when you do have a bad game, it gets elevated or amplified to a larger degree. And I think that's what happens with Paul George a lot. It was the same thing with Kyle Lowry. Like, Kyle Lowry, until he won his first ring with Toronto, was known as, like, the playoff joker. And they won one, and now he has bad games. And, like, I'm sure people care to some extent, but not at the level they used to. So,
all the pieces, health is their biggest component. And you add John Wall, that creates pace and can create shot opportunities for players.
It's going to be a fun team to watch. I can't wait, to be honest.
If everybody
can't wait for the
remains
NBA
healthy,
season.
That's the biggest caveat with this team.
Ooh, damn.
They're going to be there when it counts, when it's all said and done.
Yeah, Paul George drug him all the way to the finish line basically by himself a year ago. So
Luke Kennard says hello.
Get a healthy John Wall, a healthy Kawhi Leonard, and Ty Lue can coach X and O basketball, nice adjustments and everything like that. They're going to be right there. Now, I don't know if they'll beat Golden State or whatever the case may be, but they certainly are going to be right at the top with them.
What is John Wall at this point in his career, Jay? What do you see in him? I know.
All right, let me say this real quick. John Wall, at this point in his NBA career, if he can bring this Clippers team a solid 15 points, 6-7 assists per game, limit the turnovers, don't jack up too many shots, attack the basket, use that quickness, man, use that finishing ability, knock down the occasional catch and shoot three-pointer, that's what he needs to be doing. He has to play it as if he's not the man, but he's a big piece to the puzzle.
Again, what did you see? I haven't seen anything, but we have seen him play a little bit. He really wasn't in the plans with Houston at all, and he knew it. They kept him away from the team. He did want to play, but the last I remember of him, he used to be a blur. I mean, I used to think he was the fastest guy with the basketball in the league, even faster than Westbrook at times because he was so in control with that speed. But
he got that Devin Harris, Monte Ellis speed.
He physically is not nearly the same player. Can he be effective off the bench for the Clippers?
There's no doubt in my mind that John Wall, with Ty Lue's tutelage, can be a very effective player. And
he's probably hungry to play too.
Here is pace, man. Like, he increases the pace of the ball game because of his ball handling ability. And he may not be a.
He elevates the pace in a very controlled way too. Because don't get me wrong, I watched Reggie Jackson for years on the Pistons, obviously. Reggie Jackson can push the basketball, but it's in a very sloppy way, where it's kind of like you just want to say, like, all right, man, like, calm down a little bit, like, let's set the offense and stuff like that, and can make very reckless shot choices and just decisions when it comes down to the offense and everything. I feel like John Wall is definitely a bit more controlled in that regard. Like, he can move fast, but not lose the IQ by doing that, and that's what makes a great player, in my opinion.
Blur like he used to be, but he's still fast.
Yep.
Right? Even him a tad bit slower is still faster than a lot of the league. So creating pace, creating easier transition opportunities, and then once again,
he could have a Derrick Rose type impact at this point in his career.
Have from a versatility perspective between him and Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson's one heck of a ball player too, but they can play off of each other and give each other that rest. So I think it just gives him another.
Yeah, Reggie off the bench is a scorer.
Defensively, he's still pretty prone and active as well.
The Clippers, you said, would be the favorites in the West. You're putting them ahead of the Golden State Warriors. Key, are you buying this?
I'm not. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I am buying it.
Really?
I'm buying that they're even. I'm not buying them in front. I'm buying that they're even. The reason I'm not buying in front,
Man, I've been in this YouTube NBA game for a long time now, and it's you really start seeing patterns. You really start seeing patterns. And once again, I'm not hating on the Clippers. I think they're a very good team. But to give them the favorites in the West, that's asinine as hell. Like, let's pull back. It's exciting. It's fun. John Wall's back. Clippers got him on a really good price. It's cool. Kawhi's going to be back. But let's see it come together first.
You do have a major piece that we haven't seen in a year and a half in Kawhi Leonard. I understand Klay Thompson came back off of injuries, and we were like, okay, but you saw how Klay sputtered along.
Sure.
I don't know. I haven't seen Kawhi, so I don't know what it is.
I tell you what Kevin Durant did in coming back.
It correct me if I'm wrong. Did Paul George, something happen to
Paul George? Kawhi's style of game, I think he'll be fine. Like, this is not the first time Kawhi has come back from injuries. He knows what to expect. But I do think his style of play probably a bit more tough to come back from than Klay. Like, Klay obviously, starting off, could run off screens, knock down 3-point shots, do things like that. But Kawhi definitely more like ball handling, ball dominant type of player, right?
George at the end of the year.
I don't remember him having.
No.
I feel like something happened to him at the end of the year, but I could be wrong.
But just think about their wing defenders, guys.
We saying Klay?
You're right.
T-Man, Reggie Jackson. Now you got John Wall, Norman Powell. I mean, they have sides.
Yes.
We're not even talking about Paul George and Kawhi. So
no, they're a big team.
They can interchange and switch all that action. I'm just saying, when it's all said and done, man.
I got a feeling. Let's say maybe do Kawhi or Paul George at the power forward spot. You might see that. You would have to think like one of the three being Norman Powell, Luke Kennard, or Terrence Mann are going to be traded. Because I feel like they got like maybe even Reggie Jackson too. I don't know, man. They got like a lot of guards up in there. And I think this team could use a little something additional at the big guy spot. I like Zubac Salah. He's cool. But I mean like just something different too. I don't know. Like maybe like a stretch big or something.
They are one of the most talented teams. I know we'll talk about Memphis. We'll talk about the Lakers. We'll talk about what Denver can be. We'll talk obviously about Golden State. They deserve all the praise in the world. But this team is constructed with a head coach that has championship experience to be there when it's said and done.
Yeah, we've almost forgotten about the Clippers a little bit over the last.
But so do other teams,
injuries. When Kevin Durant came back, the way he came back from the Achilles and how he just looked the same, that raised the bar for everybody on coming back from an injury, and we expect to see you
greatness
perform at a
right
high
away
level like Durant did. Klay Thompson.
All right, guys, that's the end of the video right there, man. That's all we got. Thank y'all so much for watching. What y'all think about John Wall, the Clippers? Let me know in the comment section below. And peace out, my friends.